Greetings everyone, sluzzle699 here, casting for my cousin, sluzzle699. He's playing everyone's favorite deck from 2016, 17, 18, 19, and probably 2020, Big Priest. He is sitting at a very healthy 721 legend, top 800 legend technically. Now, this specific build of Big Priest, it's an anti-aggro build, so you'll notice that it's running Holy Smite, Penance, just to help with the early game, and you'll notice that against this Warlock, he kept the Holy Smite, he kept the Spirit Lash in case it's a Zoo lock, or a discard lock, as we call it now. As for the top end, you've got the Lich King, you've got Obsidian Statue, and you've got your Charge. Now, it's not that much, but keep in mind that 3 of those 4 minions have Taunt. The Obsidian Statue has Lifesteal. The Vargoth sometimes helps you steal some extra Resurrect value. And as for the Resurrect spells, you've got, of course, your 2 mana Resurrect, your Eternal Servitude, 2 Lesser Diamond Spellstones, and a single Mass Resurrection. So there's a good amount of value in here to survive through an onslaught of aggro, or to make it through some sort of slower build. Now, speaking of slower builds, it looks like Sluzzle has in fact queued into some sort of control warlock. It could be a cube lock, could be a Reno lock. It's usually a bit unclear until you get a bit of a look at what they're playing. Now, they played a bad luck Albatross. That's usually an indication that it is a cube lock, and this is quite bad for Sluzzle because he doesn't want 1/1 Albatrosses in his deck. You'll notice that he looked pretty happy earlier when he got that Shadow Essence. Oh no. Albatrosses are in the deck. So now the Shadow Essence might pull 5/5 birds. It looks like Sluzzle doesn't care. Just going for it. Pulls the Charge. It might pull a bird. Pull the Lich King. So Sluzzle did what we call in the business getting lucky. Now, at this point, it's still, Sluzzle still isn't out of the woods. That cube does have 2 Albatrosses in it. And it looks like his opponent's going to play to guarantee those birds come out. Because there's always the fear of Sluzzle playing Psychic Scream on 7 and screaming that cube back into the deck, losing those extra Albatross. So Sluzzle's going to play his Eternal Servitude. The question is, does he pick Lich King or Yashaj? Lich King is the safe choice. Yashaj could pull a bird, and there are currently 2 birds and 3 non-bird minions in his deck. He gets lucky again, pulls the Obsidian Statue, and it looks like turn 7's actually a little bit clunky for Sluzzle. His Spellstones are only at Resurrect 2 friendly minions. But to be honest, that isn't that bad, considering the high value minions that he's already pulled out. So that statue's going to pop the Void Caller. Opponent gets an Enhanced Dreadlord. Scholomance comes down. Sluzzle draws a bird. There's actually a good thing. He actually wants to draw the birds and not play them. He doesn't want to pull the birds off the Shadow Essence. Now, I think it's worth it to display the Spellstone here. It's just 2 minions, but keep in mind, he does have the Charge. There are 5 birds in the deck, so now we've got 5 birds and 2 non-birds. So this time we didn't get as lucky, but that is a very nice pull off the Lich King, the anti-magic shell. That might be enough to push lethal. Sluzzle has 23 damage on board. His opponent can heal up to full, but the anti-magic shell will push lethal. How's his opponent going to pull this off? His opponent's already played a Plague of Flames. Okay, the file is 22, 24, 26, 28. Okay, Dark Skies cleans up. Still got 12 on board, but looks like Sluzzle's opponent is so tilted that they just conceded because it's Big Priest. Well played, Sluzzle. Well played. Okay, Sluzzle's going to queue another one. Queues into a Diamond 2 Priest. So this is bullying at its best. Queuing into non-legend players as a big priest. Now, I think it's safe for Sluzzle to assume this is a Reno Priest. So for the Reno Priest matchup, the only real keeps he wants are the Vargoth and the Shadow Essence. And he got the Shadow Essence. So essentially, he's just going to do nothing for 5 turns. And then play Shadow Essence and then just start resurrecting things. The problem here is Reno Priest is very fast now. So Reno Priest can also do nothing the first 3 turns, but then they can get the Polkelt on 4. They probably kept the Rouser in the mulligan. And even if they didn't, by the time they get to turn 8, they're guaranteed the Anduin. So it looks like Sluzzle's opponent is a Reno Priest. The Blood Mage Thalnos gives that away. And it's corrective for Sluzzle not to clear that. There's no point Sluzzle giving his opponent an extra card for no reason. So Sluzzle does nothing for another turn. Okay, there's the Polkelt on 4. So Sluzzle's opponent is good at Reno Priest. I still don't think it's worth killing the Thalnos here, and looks like Sluzzle agrees, so he's just going to go ahead and pass. And then the Shadow Essence is pretty much guaranteed to come down next turn. Another Rouser. Now, that is 10 damage aiming at his face. The question is... Well, Sluzzle can't really do anything. He just has to slam the Essence, get to Lich King. It's not bad. The Frostmourn's not the greatest in this scenario. Sluzzle's looking for like Death Grip. He wants to steal the Spawn of Shadows. And at this point, his opponent has the Shadow Reaper Anduin in hand. Probably the Psychic Scream as well. Okay, so Sluzzle's getting a bit of a beating. That's a nice top deck though. So Sluzzle can play Spirit Lash Heal for 3, and then make Polkelt and Rouser Kiss to clear the board. Now, turn 7, oh, he doesn't look too happy there. Turn 7, there's not really much for his opponent to do. I guess his opponent could coin Anduin, but I would imagine, considering that Sluzzle is a big priest, his opponent probably wants to wait until Sluzzle gets at least 1 or 2 minions down on the board. Now Kazakus here, if I was Sluzzle's opponent, I would pick a 5-mana potion, because Sluzzle is going to, say, play a Lich King if he had it, or resurrect a minion like he does here. And the 5-mana potion will hopefully turn that into a sheep. Because it's a bit too slow for the 10-mana potion, and Sluzzle's had such a slow start out the gate. I wouldn't imagine the 10-mana potion would be absolutely necessary here. Okay, here comes the Anduin. That's pretty much expected. And so I would imagine... Okay, so Sluzzle's probably going to die next turn, because his opponent would have to have Spawn of Shadows by now, and that's a lot of cards in their hand, including the coin. It looks like Sluzzle's going to slam down the statue. Hope for the best. But if we see a Spawn of Shadows come down, I think that's pretty much game over. Yeah, so the coin here is 6 damage, and then his opponent needs 2 cards. I mean, they most likely have it. Looks like Sluzzle is slowly removing his headphones. Throws them somewhere. Looks like this game is over, so at this point I want to thank you for watching this video. If you want to play some Big Priest for yourself, you'll find the deck code in the description below. And if you'd like to support this channel, you can click the subscribe button, click that bell, and until next time, hope to see you again.